see the first pitch, drive it to left field. Tampa won 17 games in a row, but Seton Hill ends the streak. An extra innings win.
Hey, Griffin fans, Dan Flickinger here with the Westmoreland Sports Network, and I am being joined by Seton Hill baseball coach Marc Marizzaldi, along with junior pitcher Christian Zilli and freshman infielder Owen Mandler, as we bring you an update on the Seton Hill baseball spring break trip. And what an update we bring you here today. The Griffins are undefeated so far on the trip and sent shockwaves throughout Division II baseball. All you have to do is jump on Twitter to see that, with a victory over the number one ranked team in the country, the Tampa Spartans, on Monday. Oh, and they were also undefeated at 17-0 coming into the game. They're 17-1 now. And really excited to be talking to the guys. Guys, I wish I was down there with you, talking with you. Unfortunately, a little sickness hit me, and I'm still back in Greensburg. It's kind of warm here, but it's going to get cold, I think, later in the week, and you guys are enjoying the sun and enjoying some great baseball. So I can't wait to see you when you get back, hopefully with 4 more wins. But first, I guess I'll start with you, Maz. You guys have gotten off to certainly a great start on the trip, a 6-5 win over Winona State, a 10-9 win over Minnesota State Mankato, and then that 6-5 victory over Tampa on Monday in extra innings. What has been the key to the success so far for the Griffs down in Florida?
That's a good question. All of our games have been pretty similar. One-run games. We came out on the better end of them. The key for our success so far, that's a good question, because we've been able to win in a little bit different ways. For the most part, we played very good defense throughout. We didn't really swing it too well the first day, but the last 2 days our offense has really stepped up. And the depth of our pitching, I think, is really starting to show. And we've had a lot of great bullpen performances. I guess that might be the key, I think. Once our hitters started to become a little bit more consistent, playing all 9-inning games, we knew that it was going to be decided, in the later innings, and our bullpen's been able to throw up some zeros, and Christian and Rossi and Marinchak and all these guys have been able to, come away with some. I think we have 3 wins all by relievers, and then 3, a few saves in there too. So it's just been really cool to see our guys starting to make some progress and learn and get better and play really well together. And hopefully that continues.
Well, let's talk about the biggest win of the trip so far. It happened on Monday, 6-5 in extra innings over Tampa. Maz, did you kind of, going through pregame, IO, BP, and all those things, did you kind of feel like the guys were confident and focused that they could compete with Tampa and ultimately beat them?
Yes and no. Honestly, our approach to the game yesterday, like pregame and bus ride and everything, was the same as every other game. And I wasn't sure if that was good or if that was bad. And turns out, after watching our guys play, it was a good thing, because I truly believe that they stayed focused on playing the game rather than trying to beat Tampa. I don't think we got too caught up in, the aura of Tampa and the number one ranking and all that. And I was really proud of our guys. They just treated it as another game that they needed to kind of do certain things right on the field. And I think we were able to stay pretty even keel in what was a very, tight, emotional game where we got up and, blew a lead in the 9th inning. And I just really proud of how mature and resilient our guys performed on the field.
And bouncing back seems to be in this team's DNA. Obviously, you did it last year. You return a lot of those same players this year. Again, you give up the lead in the 9th inning, and then you win the game in the 11th. And it's tough to give Tampa extra chances, right? Because they're the number one team in the country, for a reason, and they usually are in the top 5 or whatever. Talk about the resiliency again you guys showed to kind of hang with it. Get the big reliever performances by Zill there and also by Rossi, and then be able to get the win.
Now, I think you hit on something. You talked about our DNA, and something that our guys hear and kind of try to live by every single day is how we respond to things. Baseball is obviously the game of failure, and I think the guys and the teams that play successfully are the teams that know how to respond to the inevitable failure that's going to happen. And our guys didn't blink. There was a little bit of disappointment when we blew that big lead, but Just constantly focusing on really two things: our responses and just the things that we could control. Um, we appeared to be a very mature team, not just yesterday, but also the 2 days before that. Mature in terms of we weren't getting too high, we weren't getting too low, and we stayed focused on the task at hand. And that's been a pretty good process so far.
Zill, I want to go to you, Christian Zilli, junior pitcher. I want to talk about a few things with you about, moving to that pitcher only role and the things you went through in the fall and the off season. But you got the big save on Monday against Tampa. What was your mindset going out there knowing that you were 3 outs away from beating the number 1 team in the country?
In that moment, there's kind of a lot you can get caught up in. Thinking about the stakes of the game, it's super high energy. You really just got to keep it simple. For me, it was go out there and do my job, which is throw strikes and be competitive in the zone. I've got an awesome defense behind me. They led the nation in fielding percentage last year. Clay does an awesome job calling pitches. Durham does an excellent job behind the plate. So just kind of trusting everything around me and keeping my job as simple as I can and kind of letting them take care of the rest for me.
How excited was the team? Give us a sense of how exciting it was to knock them off.
Words don't really describe it. It's one of those times that you just kind of black out with excitement, and you don't really even know what you did. You don't remember a whole lot of it, but you see the videos of it, and it gives you goosebumps every time you watch it. I was talking to Aiden Shepard on the bus ride back yesterday, and I was saying that when you're a kid, the only thing that you dream of other than being the number 1 team is beating the number 1 team. So to be able to go out and do that was really awesome for us.
Well, I know at the end of the year, you guys are still focused on being that number 1 team as well. And what Aiden Shepard scores the game-winning run in extra innings off of a double play ball, but it didn't matter. It got in the winning run off of Noah Sweeney's bat. So you've had a tremendous season so far, Christian, and I'm really happy for you. 5 2/3 innings pitched. He has not given up a run, only 1 hit in 6 strikeouts. This after being a two-way player your first 2 years. So you kind of reinvented yourself in the fall. Again, you were a two-way player. Now you're a full-time reliever. Kind of take us through that process if you could, and just how, challenging it was to kind of change your delivery, your arm slot, and all those things.
For me, the biggest challenge wasn't anything physical. It was mental. You sit around and you watch the team have success for 2 years and you enjoy all the success that you're having. But at the end of the day, everybody wants to be out there and play. So sitting around and watching it was pretty mentally challenging. And I went away to summer ball this year and was pretty driven to be on the field and be a contributor this season. And I asked Maz before I left, should I pitch? And he said no. And I don't really know why I did it, but I threw a lot up there and ended up finding something that I could be really confident in myself in, which I think at the plate I was maybe lacking a little bit of confidence. So to be able to find that confidence and be able to carry it into the fall really proved to be successful for me.
Well, and again, talk about the way you had to kind of change your delivery, your arm slot, that type of thing to make you even more effective pitcher.
Yeah, so while I was up in New York this summer, I just wanted to add something that was a little more deceptive to a lefty. I wasn't real comfortable doing it to a righty yet, so every once in a while I would just drop down my slot and throw a sinker from down there. And we're playing in the league championship in Amsterdam, and it's the first stadium that we played in all year that had a radar gun. So I'm throwing from over the top. I'm 82, 83, 82, and then I dropped down to the side for one. I hit an 88. So that was kind of the point where I was like, whoa, I think I found something there. And now it's just about developing the mental cues to have the confidence and go out there and execute every time.
And you've always been a gamer, right? 3-sport athlete, football, basketball, baseball. How much does that help you, your mindset going out there? And we talked about what you were thinking going out, pitching the final inning. I feel like not much bothers you.
So we talk about the definition of mental toughness being at your best when you need it the most. And I feel like through different experiences I've had in different sports at different levels that I've kind of gone through some things and been in different situations that have allowed me to prepare for most situations that I'll face this season. So I think my background in different sports at different levels has really helped me be a baseball player.
I know we have a long season to go, but thinking back again to where you were last year and then saving the game against Tampa, I mean, that has to make you pretty darn happy.
Yeah, it is for sure. It does. Absolutely.
Well, congratulations, Zill. Let's move to Owen Mandler now. Not Max Mandler, Owen Mandler, the brother of Max, the freshman, and he has carved out quite a role for himself so far. So far this season, 357 batting average. He's second on the team with 10 hits. He's also scored 7 runs, and that's only in 8 games. So, Owen, I want to ask you about what was going through your mind yesterday. Starting as a freshman at second base, playing against who you knew was the number 1 team on the other side. And I know you guys just play baseball and that type of thing. This is just another game, but was it challenging at all not to have any butterflies? Were you anxious? Were you nervous coming into that game, or were you trying to make it feel like just another baseball game?
I think those emotions definitely go through your head for at least a little bit, that, the moment of playing the number 1 team in the country and all that. And kind of before the game, I was trying to take it all in and, appreciate where you are and be grateful for the opportunity to play the number 1 team. I think it's easy to get caught up, but at the end of the day, it's a blessing to be given that opportunity. And, once you start warming up and doing all that stuff, it kind of just becomes a game again. And then you realize you got a job to do and you got to go do the job. And you trust that if you do your best and you execute, that, you have a chance to make something happen. And I think ultimately just having that opportunity was awesome, but you can't let it get to you too much.
Well, again, you've had great success starting your Seton Hill career, and that's tough to do for a freshman. Saw Jack Whalen do it last year. We're seeing Jacob Haynes do it as well, and obviously you're off to a terrific beginning in your career. So, what do you think has been the key to kind of your success so far?
I think ultimately it's kind of just trusting yourself and trusting the preparation from all of the preseason. We do a lot of intense stuff at practices, and you put yourself in uncomfortable positions that make the game almost feel easier than a practice. And I think it's easy to get overwhelmed by a lot of the stuff that's happening, but you have to trust all the stuff you've put in. And I think the culture here is so incredible that it's kind of hard not to get into game mode and just go play. And so I think just trusting your teammates and knowing that they trust you is kind of just a drive to go play your best.
Well, you mentioned that culture, and I'm sure Max shared that with you when you were considering what college you wanted to attend. So how much of a role did he play in you coming to Seton Hill, and how happy are you that you did?
Yeah, when I was first kind of making my college decisions, honestly, I kind of wanted to go away from my brother, and I thought that I wanted to go my own way, and I was really convinced of that. And then I came on a visit to Seton Hill, and like you're saying with the culture, I realized that this is a special program. And I think that you go watch your brother play for 2 years and you see truly how special of a program it is being at the games. And I think that once I kind of saw that this could be something I'm a part of, I think I kind of just instantly fell in love with it. And I'm really grateful that I was able to end up here.
If we played like a home run derby between you and Max, who would win?
I think it'd be close. He might have me for now, but we'll see. We'll see how it ends up.
We'll have to film that on an off day or something. Mic you guys up and see who takes the cake. Owen, I appreciate it. Christian, I appreciate it. Maz, I just want to leave you with what you guys have to do to keep this thing rolling in Florida. I mean, we've talked many times how you guys have had maybe 500 records coming back from Florida and then end up winning a championship. Right now, you're in a really good position, and obviously, you keep winning games. That means good things down the road for playoffs and all those things tied into it. So you're facing a team in Ohio Dominican on Wednesday that you just played about 15, 23 innings, 22 innings of baseball with, and then you have some other tough games too. So what do you have to do to keep this thing rolling?
Well, yeah, I think you highlighted that the fact that it doesn't get a whole lot easier. We can't kind of just take our foot off the gas now that that we've already played the number one team in the country. We've got 2 regional games coming up. Florida Southern's a school that's streaking right now on a pretty good win streak. They kicked the crap out of us last year, so we know we're going to have a tough opponent there. What we have to do is just keep getting better. It's kind of a common theme for us that it doesn't matter who we play. It's about how we play the game. And I think, that approach helped us against Tampa, and that's what we need to continue to do. These games we come down here for the purpose of playing good competition, learning a lot about ourselves, and striving to get better. And, no matter what our record is to this point, we're going to continue to do that, face good competition and work to get better. Because we know once we get back north, it doesn't necessarily get any easier. We've got a really tough series with Grand Valley, and then the PSAC opens up. So we want to be playing as good, as close to our best baseball by the time our conference schedule rolls around, and that's a couple weeks away. So we're just going to lace them up tomorrow against a really, really good Ohio Dominican team and just try to play a little bit better.
Yeah, the Tampa win's only the beginning, certainly not the end. Hey guys, this was great. Again, I wish I could be down there with you. I was screaming in my house on the last out there, Zill, that you got. That was so awesome to see you guys beat Tampa, and I can't wait till again you get back. But first, let's get 4 more wins. All right.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Appreciate you bringing us on today.
Thanks,
fellas. Appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the trip.
Thank you.
Yep, we'll see you, man.